writing longer papers and better papers than I'd ever written. It was great. My brain, you know that like when you know something, your brain feels all fizzy, like, ooh, it was great. I loved it. So it was really fun. And then they said, guess what? You have to stay in your house for the next 2 years. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome for the first time. If this is the first time you've been here, this is literally the second time I've been here. I've just finished filming my first ever YouTube video, and this is now my second ever YouTube video. So yeah, this is going to be a short little vlog type thing, I suppose, of just kind of my PhD experience, when I started, how it kind of went, rolling into what is now about to be month 13, T-minus 13 months to my deadline. One of the things that is tricky about a PhD, and you'll hear people say this a lot, they'll say, oh, you can't compare yourself to other people because everybody's PhD is different. And that is true, like that's right. But also it's hard to compare yourself to other people because you don't know what anybody else is doing. It's such an independent project, and to kind of address that problem, and also so I have my own little record of what happened in the last year, I thought that over the next 13 months, I'd like to make every month just a short little, this is what I've been doing in my research, this is what's been going well, this is what hasn't been going well, so that you have an idea of what a fourth year PhD might look like. I mean, well, what it does look like, because it'll be what I'm doing, but yours doesn't have to look like that. And yours might not look like that. It might, I don't know, we'll see. So I started my PhD in 2019 in October. So I had been working as an HR manager in a small local business, and for various reasons, which have nothing to do with this video, I stopped working there and decided to do a PhD. So the university I go to, for the first year of your PhD, even if you're not doing an actual MRes degree, you still have to take the MRes modules, which I am so happy about because it was research philosophy, quantitative methods, qualitative methods, and kind of mixed methods and like advanced research philosophy kind of stuff. Really helpful because I hadn't done a research degree yet. So I am a self-funded PhD. I am not paying out of pocket. I am not rich. But what self-funded means is that I had some government funding left over from when I was in the military, and then I switched to a teaching stipend thing. But what that means is that I didn't join onto an existing research project. I proposed my own research project as part of the application into the program. So what I proposed originally followed on from my master's research. So I came into it with the idea that I was going to do something about job quality for working class jobs, and also the experience of working in a small business after having been in a massive institution was wild. Like it was just really, really interesting to me, and it made me want to know more about small businesses because they're all so different from each other. So what's that about? So I wrote that for my proposal. So I started in October 2019, clicking along, learning all the things, this, that, and the other, loving it, having a lot of fun, writing longer papers and better papers than I'd ever written. It was great. My brain, you know that like when you know something, your brain feels all fizzy, like, ooh, it was great. I loved it. So it was really fun. And then they said, guess what? You have to stay in your house for the next 2 years. Which obviously wasn't exactly what happened, but you know what happened, and I don't need to go into it. So that really slowed down the research a lot because I had decided by that point that what I wanted to look at was quality of working life instead of talking about job quality, because quality of working life puts the person in the middle, right? That was the framework I was going to use. Those are the kinds of questions I was going to ask, and I wanted to ask those questions of hairdressers because I'm interested in working class jobs and people who don't have necessarily super prestigious jobs. Obviously, we couldn't go to the hairdresser. What was I supposed to do? I decided I'm doing qualitative research. So the plan originally was that I was going to do interviews and observations. So I decided with my supervisors during that first part of lockdown that the best thing to do would be to start working on a systematic literature review paper so that at least I could be doing some research and having some research output, because I've decided I'm structuring my PhD as papers instead of doing a traditional like 100,000 word book. It's going to be 3 papers and some connective tissue. So we decided that since I have to do literature review anyway, might as well write a paper out of it. So I did that. I say I did that. It took me 2 years. I had the idea to start that paper in June of 2020, and it got submitted to a journal August 2022. So things can take a while. So I spent the first few years of the PhD kind of like back and forthing and not knowing. I came up with the idea of using photographs. So I'm doing photo elicitation research now, partly because we didn't know when we were going to be able to get back into the field, right? Even when things opened up, there was still Pippa. I think you're making the camera move. The reason I initially thought of doing photo elicitation was just because I didn't know when I was going to be able to go out in the field. It was a measure because I couldn't do observations. It's like, well, if I can't do observations because the university guidelines won't let me go into a salon to observe, I don't want to just do interviews, because that wasn't the kind of, I'm taking a phenomenological approach. So I wanted this like really rich, back to the things themselves kind of experience, and just interviews, it was going to be a struggle to get there. So I thought, oh, well, I'll have them take photographs. As things open back up, as things happen, what that has now morphed into is I'm doing a multi-method study in which I am asking hairdressers to take up to, well, they can take as many pictures as they want. I'm asking hairdressers to send me up to 9 photos of their working life. So things that they like doing, things they don't like doing, and just like normal everyday things, right? So they're sending me those photographs. And then once they've sent me the photograph, we're arranging an interview and we go for a chat. And in the interview, instead of having an interview schedule with a structured list of questions, the only structure is that my opening question to kind of like ease people into it is, so can you tell me a little bit about how you got into hairdressing? And then we're off to the races, and they're talking me through their photos, and it's all like fun and good and interesting and yay. That is basically where we're up to. And I've done some observations. I've done 1 session of observations, a 3-4 hour long session. I have never been so tired in my life or overwhelmed. Like, I've spent a lot of time in salons. I've dyed my hair for years and years and years. I really like being in salons. It was, and the salon I was observing in, it was like a very chill, nice salon, but oh my goodness, it was just really overwhelming. And partly because, you know, I am ADHD, and so like just there's so many things, and I'm inattentive type. So just like, even, you know, with all my support systems I have in place for that, it's like, whoa, observations are a lot. So my funding will run out, and my deadline for submission is September 2023. I was about to give myself an extra year. It's September 2023. So as I speak, we're in late August 2022, which means I have 13 months to go. Also, for administrative reasons, which are deeply uninteresting, I have to have all the data gathered by the end of September. And right now I have, I told you I'm not a mathy person, but 0.5, either 5% or 0.5% of my target number of participants. So I'm not stressed at all. This is great. Okay. I am obviously stressed. So what have I been doing to try to recruit? I have done a couple reels, very cringy. I've tried to post in kind of Facebook groupy things. That hasn't quite worked. I've walked around with, I have a new version of my flyer, which is gorgeous. I'll pop it up there because I'm really excited about it. But my original version of my flyer, I walked that around to a bunch of salons, like dropped it off and introduced myself, and had tried to make it as easy as possible for people to find and connect, and like popped on my QR code so they could just boom right there, and wasn't getting any really kind of response from the people I had contacted. Once I would send them the information about the study, they're like, that would be it. So we decided to submit an ethics amendment, and now I'm able to offer people Amazon vouchers for participating. So that's just come through. So I'm hoping that I can get some momentum building and do some snowballing and have people, right, like refer me to their friends as things go through, so that I can get a lot of good, rich data, because I really want to know. Like, it'll be really fun. It's hard to get people. I think one thing that I hadn't anticipated, stupidly, I'm so excited about it that I thought everybody else would be really excited about it and want to like instantly do it, and that it, like, I didn't consciously think this, but clearly subconsciously I thought that other people were going to make my research their priority, which is not the thing. So qualitative research can take a long time. I think a thing that I have found, difficult with it is not a comparison thing exactly, but I've got other friends that are doing qualitative research who are finding, seem to me to be finding respondents much more easily. So I don't know if it's how my outreach is going. I don't know if it's the population I'm looking at. I don't know, but I'm trying everything I can. So we'll see what happens. So I've got some alternate ideas. I had like 3 alternate ideas, and both my supervisors and my progress review panel thought 2 of those ideas were not good. So my actual alternate idea for if this doesn't work, if I don't get enough interviews, talk about that in a second. I'll see if I can do more observations and do more of a case study thing and base more of the analysis on observations and not necessarily use the interviews or use them in a different way. It's very, come here, Pip. Come here. Come on. Pippa. Oh no. I'm really sorry that the angle has just changed. It's because I knocked my camera when I was trying to talk to my dog. There she is. Here she is. Come sit down with me, Pippa. Okay. No more knocking the camera. Just have a little chill out. One of my alternate ideas that got shot down was, well, if I only have like 5 or 10 interviews, then I can do a more intensive method, right? I could do like interpretive phenomenological analysis. We were really looking very, very closely at the thing. I could switch and do some narrative analysis or discourse analysis, which I would be asking different types of research questions if I did that. But they said no. So basically, I really, really, really need to get participants, and it is quite stressful. So maybe not the best time to decide to start a YouTube channel, but you got to do something, right? So that's where I'm up to. Like I said, I've written a paper. I've written a systematic literature review paper. So we've sent that off to a journal. So we'll see how it goes. We've gotten good feedback on the drafts. The main bit of feedback that we've gotten from other people is, yeah, but do they really publish systematic literature review papers? And the answer is like, well, not that often, but they do. So that was good, helpful feedback to get, because it meant when I wrote the cover letter, because did you know you have to write a cover letter? You don't just get to send your paper that you've worked so hard off. No. You have to write a cover letter too. Who knew? Anyway, so when I did the cover letter, I was able to really emphasize why this particular journal was the right journal for this paper. So that's exciting. That's really good. I'm really, I feel hopeful about it. I do feel, obviously, well, no, I don't feel nervous. My brain is aware that I should feel nervous, but I have no like actual affective nerves about it right now because it's completely outside of my control. I'm really proud of myself that it's done. Like I said, it took 2 years to write. I had a lot of those moments where it's like, but this is just obvious. Like, this is, what am I even saying? This is stupid. Like, everybody knows this. But it's because I spent so much time with it that all the novelty of it and the like innovation part has completely like, it's just the way I think now. So yeah, to kind of remember that, no, like this is like a good paper and it's a good contribution. And I think that paper will find a home somewhere. And I'm really hoping it finds a home in this journal because Hi. Okay, so funny story about that. I filmed that 2 days ago. Yesterday, got an email from the publisher that said, this isn't for us, so jog on. They said it politely. That's nice. It did actually go to an editor. It wasn't just desk rejected by the administrator. So somebody put their eyes on it and they decided that that was enough eyes, which isn't great. It's not what we wanted. Obviously, people had told us that that might be the case, so we were prepared. So we had a couple options in the bag. I know which option I want to go with for the next thing. My primary supervisor is on holiday, so once he gets back, double check with him, and then I've got some editing to do because I need to cut about 2,000 words out of it. I'm at like 12. Ooh, actually more like 3,000. I'm at like 12,750, and I need to be at 10,000, but that is a future Lisa problem. Have fun with that, future Lisa. For now, I hope you enjoyed this insight into the publication process. Back to the video. So that's where I'm up to. So now we're at T-minus 13 months to submission, and I will be back with another one of these videos next month to let you know. So basically what I've just realized that I'm doing is I will have my monthly supervision meetings where I tell them about my progress, and then I will come film a YouTube video and I will tell you about my progress. I hope it's helpful in just seeing and hearing kind of what another PhD student is doing, what's going on, what does finishing a PhD, like what do you actually do? Because I'll tell you right now, I don't know. You know why? Because I haven't done it yet. You just got to do stuff. That's how you learn. So that's it. Thank you so much. If you are still watching this, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. I hope that you have a lovely day. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, like the video, please consider subscribing. I'm going to be doing lots of fun stuff on the channel, some PhD stuff, some stuff about research topics, and some like research methods and philosophy, and some stuff about all the things that I get to learn about in the course of my research, but I can't write whole papers about all of them, but I can make YouTube videos. So if you're interested in the sociology of work, or doing a PhD, or hearing me babble, or seeing my dogs pop up out of nowhere, please subscribe. If this video was helpful, consider sharing it with a friend, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.